Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for tuning in. We'll get started inshallah ta'ala in 5 minutes or when we reach 100 people, whichever comes first. Feel free to say salam where you're from and answer the fun poll. The fun poll. Feel free to say salam where you're from and answer the fun poll. Salam where you're from. We'll get started in a few moments. Shamsiya wa alaikum assalam, Wasfa alaikum assalam, Ruma in Liverpool wa alaikum assalam, Abu Abdullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We will get started in 5 minutes, or if the number hits 100, whichever comes first. Let's see what happens. Will we hit 100 or will we wait 5 minutes? Nurul in Malaysia, wa alaikum assalam. Samia in England, wa alaikum assalam. Hawa in Nigeria, thanks for tuning in every day. Hawa, wa alaikum assalam. Zahra in Pakistan, wa alaikum assalam. Zahra in, wa alaikum assalam. We got two Zahras back to back. Wasifa says, where's the fun poll? The fun poll is in the text. So if you are offered, this is the fun poll. If you are offered either a bag of chips or a chocolate bar, which would you choose? You're offered either a bag of crisps or a chocolate bar, which would you choose? That's the fun poll. We got 2 for chocolate, 1 for chips. Kimi, Georgina, wa alaikum assalam, or hey, Rabina, wa alaikum assalam, Shahnaz, wa alaikum assalam. Aisha Muhammad in California, wa alaikum assalam. Barcelona, Ali, wa alaikum assalam. Yamama says, I'd like both. I know somebody was going to say they'd want both, but I said only one. Can't have both. There's other people. Gotta share chips, both. Oh, so we got, I thought chocolate would win for sure, but we actually have a good followers of crisps. Chips, chocolate. I'd say it's 50-50 so far. Muhammad Nu'man says choco. Muhammad Amir says choco. Himo Boss, wa alaikum assalam. Lubna says choco. Some more coming in for choco. Nusrat in North Carolina, wa alaikum assalam, choco. Aisha says chips. Hannah says chocolate. I think you may have heard me in one of my other sessions where I said I don't like chocolate. I would actually probably choose the chips, but I don't know. Maybe I'd choose the chocolate bar. But I found that, or my statement is, just because I don't like chocolate doesn't hurt chocolate. The sales of chocolate are doing great. So just because somebody doesn't like you doesn't matter. Somebody else will like you. Hey, Zurich, we got Aisa Balqis and Juju. Is it Zuzu or Juju? Juju. Alaikum assalam. It says, should try Butler's chocolate from Ireland. Mariam. Okay, the chocolate fiends have shown up. Fiends. Swiss chocolate made in China. Muhammad Amir in Kashmir, wa alaikum assalam. Sharifah, wa alaikum assalam. Come on, if we hit 100, we'll start early. It's at 75 now, and there's 2 minutes left. Share, start a watch party on your page. We will get started if we hit 100 or if we reach the top of the hour. Chips, the fun poll. Oh man, I think we're going to hit the 100 before we hit it. Alaikum assalam, Asma. And there was somebody from Libya. Aisha in Minnesota. Welcome, Aisha. مع الأبرار. There you go. First person to pronounce it properly. We will start at the top of the hour, or if we hit 100. Yesterday we hit 100 first. This is Rayyan, Mi'raj, Isra, Mahina, Nabiha, Naziha, wa alaikum assalam. Rashida, wa alaikum assalam. Heidi, wa alaikum assalam. Asma. You know, Asma, I said I don't think the UK people should be allowed to vote because I think chocolate will win 10 times out of 10 in that poll. Crisps. Thank you. The crisps people are showing up again to challenge the chocolate fiends. All right, we've hit the top of the hour. Let's get started. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man wala amma ba'd. So in the previous days, we've been talking about the story of Jibreel alayhi salam with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi salam, and when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi salam was in that isolation up in the cave and he received the revelation, there's certain things that happen. It's a very well-known story, and I'm sure you know. That, you know, he came home, he was scared, he told them to wrap him up in a blanket, and I gave one of our daily huddles on that. The next thing that we spoke about was he spoke out loud his fear, so speaking out loud, not keeping it to yourself. So that was another daily huddle that we did. The third one that we spoke about was that surah, and this was yesterday, Ya ayyuhal muzammil ya ayyuhal muddaththir, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the next thing would be qum, would be stand up. Qum fa'andir, qum al-layla illa qalila. So today, we're going to continue the story and what's happening in it. So Khadija radiallahu anha in this situation, when the Prophet ﷺ said, لَقَدْ خَشِيتُ عَلَى نَفْسِي, I feared for my life. Khadija radiallahu anha's instant response to the Prophet ﷺ is what we're going to talk about today. She said to him, كَلَّا لَا يُخْزِيكَ اللَّهُ أَبَدًا. You know what's really beautiful? I actually looked up the Arabic for this in Sahih Bukhari, and there's a word that doesn't get mentioned often. It might be another narration that people are quoting, but there's one word in Sahih Bukhari about this story of the revelation that I find to be so beautiful. So Khadija radiallahu anha, so what we normally hear is Kalla la yukhzika Allahu abada. She said, never, Allah will never disgrace you. By Allah, Allah will never disgrace you. But in Sahih Bukhari it says Kalla abshir, فَوَاللَّهِ لَا يُخْزِيكَ اللَّهُ أَبَدًا. There's one word added there in Sahih Bukhari in which she said to the Prophet ﷺ, say, never rejoice and have glad tidings, for by Allah, Allah will never disgrace you. The word there in Sahih Bukhari is abshir, have glad tidings and have good news. So I love that word, and I'll continue to the rest of what she said to the Prophet ﷺ, but it sets the feelings and the tones for what you hear next. She's telling the Prophet ﷺ, like, oh, this isn't the situation, and you figure out how to resolve this. She's saying, no, take glad tidings and rejoice and be happy. And be positive. She says, فَوَاللَّهِ لَا يُخْزِيكَ اللَّهُ أَبَدًا. For by Allah, Allah will never allow you to be disgraced. And so her reasoning for this and reminding the Prophet ﷺ of the good that he does, فَوَاللَّهِ إِنَّكَ لَتَصِلُ الرَّحِمِ وَتَصْدُقُ الْحَدِيث وَتَحْمِلُ الْكَلْ وَتَكْسِبُ الْمَعْدُومِ وَتَقْرِي الضَّيْفِ وَتُعِينُ عَلَى نَوَائِبِ الْحَقِّ. She said, radiallahu anha, she said, Allah would never disgrace you, so, rejoice and have glad tidings because you keep good relations with your relatives, okay? Because you keep good relations with your relatives, Allah will never disgrace you. You tell the truth. You always tell the truth. His nickname was As-Sadiq Al-Masduq, the one who tells the truth, the one whom everyone believes as the truth teller. You tell the truth, so Allah will never disgrace you. You help the poor and destitute, Allah would never disgrace you. You serve your guests generously, Allah would never disgrace you, and you assist the deserving calamity afflicted ones. وَتُعِينُ عَلَى نَوَائِبِ الْحَقِّ. This last one, نَوَائِبِ الْحَقِّ, when people have been treated unjustly, that the Prophet ﷺ would be the person they could turn to, and he would assist them in getting that, in getting their justice back. So the point here is that I want to talk about is that is mentorship. Now, when we were growing up a long time ago, back in the Star Wars, one of the most famous mentors was Yoda. Yoda, a toy Yoda. There's a side joke here. Yes, I'm a roller coaster. You're crying one moment, then you're laughing the next. They had a competition at one restaurant, and they said whoever wins will get a toy Yoda. Toy Yoda. So everybody thought, oh, we're going to win a car. And this lady, one of the waitresses, she won, and they brought her a toy Yoda, which was a Yoda, but it was a small toy, and she did not think it was funny, and she sued them for that. So anyways, the most famous mentor that we've seen in the movies is Yoda. And when I was teaching the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, when I was preparing the course, what I did was I looked at the templates of movies, the hero's journey. I looked at the template of movies, the hero's journey, and I wanted to organize my class based on the hero's journey, kind of like what you're normally seeing, the template that you see in movies and books and so on. It's following a template, and I wanted to organize my seerah class like that. The seerah class, obviously, it's not fiction, but these things that you see in the movies actually resonate with all of us because it does reflect our actual human journey. That's why when people go to movies or they see a movie, they get so emotional and they feel so inspired. So one of the things that stuck in my mind is in these templates of the movies you have, or what I learned is you have a hero, and the hero faces challenges, but then the hero has a plan, and the plan fails. So to give you an example of, has a plan fails, if there's ever like a cop movie, if you guys are watching Netflix these days or something, there's ever a cop movie, there's always a point where in kind of like 3/4 of the way in the movie where the cop person or the hero of the story tries to catch the bad guy and it goes horribly wrong. And then the boss at the police department basically tells this person, you're fired or you've been suspended. I mean, like, it's so cliche. It's like in every film, every movie, there's always a point where the hero fails. And then when the hero fails, the next stage is, and I was reading about this and I thought about it a lot because I'm the type of person that likes to self-help. And I think a lot of us are into self-help. Everything we try to figure out on our own. We don't ask for help. We try to do it all on our own. So I was learning more into it that if you already know what to do, then why did your plan fail? If you already know what to do, then why did your plan fail? And so there's a point in the in these stories when the hero has to find somebody, a mentor, a Yoda, who can tell them and train them that, hey, there's a different way of doing things that can take you to the next level. So I actually looked this up right now. It's a cartoon movie about a scary haunted house. And I looked it up. I literally Google searched because I don't remember what it was called. I Google searched cartoon movie scary house. And it's called Monster House. It's an animation and it's a scary movie about these 3 kids and it's like a haunted house. Anyways, but I was on an airplane once and I was like, oh, here's a cartoon scary movie. And I was watching it. And one thing that happened in that movie is when things were failing, I started asking myself, because I knew about this mentor thing. I know that the plan fails. They're going to look for a mentor. Who's the mentor in this animation called Monster House? And it turns out the mentor in In this movie, as I was waiting, where's the mentor? Where's the mentor? Where's the mentor? The mentor was the kid at the arcade that can, with 1 quarter, can play for like 6 hours. And he was telling them he knows so much about mythology or whatever, and he's the one who helped them out. Anyways, so now let's get on topic here. I find that at this time in our lives, as everybody's, in their isolation, and we have our heroes and the essential services and the health department and so on, and we're living through these times, that it's almost as if we've all hit a plan fails stage of our life. Like, we all had plans, and now everybody's home. And everybody's like, life has just been like kind of like slam door, where the boss says, you've been suspended and you need to go home and you need to like close the door and this. And at this failed stage, the plan fail stage of our life, the next stage in the hero's journey is actually finding the mentor that will help you break through. Now, to take you to the beginning of my reminder here, I said about Khadija radiallahu anha and how she was there for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that when he felt that fear, I feared for myself, as he said sallallahu alaihi wasallam, she said, "Kalla abshir la yakhzikallahu abada," that Allah would never allow you to be disgraced. So we need that kind of a mentor that can help us get through this stage. And this isn't about, I think everybody's saying like social distancing and whatnot. And the correct, I like the explanation there, like it's physical distancing, but we want to actually be social. We want to actually reach out to mentors and also be mentored during this time to help us all get through this closed door stage of our life. So here's 3 practical applications of this, and then I'll give you kind of like one action to take. So the first one that I would say is take this time to unfollow and follow people that are going to big you up in your life. So if, for example, if you had a clean slate, a clean Twitter account or a clean Instagram account, I know we get caught up in just following the same people all the time. And where you are right now has gotten you to like kind of like that closed door. And I would say, look out for new people to follow. Look out for people that'll big you up. Who would you want to be your mentors? And you'll actually find all over the internet that those people have opened their doors and they're doing mentorship. Some of these big people are even doing their own Facebook Lives and Zoom calls and just letting people, hey, come and ask me questions. And there's big names all over the internet. So unfollowing people is one idea. The second thing is you want to seek mentorship. So mentorship is there's three categories of the people that you befriend in this, your Yodas or whatever. There's people that are ahead of you in the journey. There are people that are at the same station as you in this journey, and there are people that are walking that are still a few steps behind you in this journey. And you want to have relationships with all 3 of these people. So you want to be in relationship with somebody who is stronger than you, so they can pull you up. They can, make you stronger. When you start doubting yourself, they're like, no, I've been down this road. I used to feel what you felt, and they can take you further up. You have the people that are on par with you, and that's like a good camaraderie of people on your sing. A good camaraderie of the people that are at your same level. And then there's people behind you that you say, you know what, this is my sadaqah, this is my contribution. I want to find somebody that I have skills. Maybe they're, maybe I'm a doctor and these people are up and coming and they want to be doctors, and hey, let me mentor them and give them advice and through these challenging years of their life and stuff like that as they get their education. So those are three levels, and you want, and then the key one here is to get like the Yoda in your life. You need somebody who's stronger than you. It doesn't necessarily have to be stronger in all areas of the life, but one area, the key area that you're looking for, and that may be a Yoda in spirituality, somebody who's a really good Muslim. I was actually in a class one time, and I met a brother that was mashallah, and Allah knows best, very pious, such great khuluq. And I just went to him and I said, I need to be your friend because you have awesome character and I want that to rub off on me. Or maybe for health reasons, I met a brother that was part of a national team. And then I said, I'm like, I need to be friends with him. I'll get in good shape just by being friends with somebody like that. So in different areas of your life, you befriend somebody who's stronger than you. And like I said, at par, and people that are steps behind you that you can mentor. So the action right now, my take-home action for you is think of somebody. So I know if I told you, hey, go find a mentor, nobody's going to do it because that kind of advice always goes around. There's always, somebody sends a scary email to somebody they admire, say, can you be my mentor? And then they never hear back or something like that. So that's not what I'm going to tell you. What I'm going to tell you is this. Think of somebody who could use your mentorship. Think of somebody who could use your mentorship. And by use your mentorship, it's maybe we're all don't really understand what's going on during this time of isolation, and that's fine. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about. But let's suppose they need your career mentorship, or maybe you're really good at homeschooling and somebody else is new to schooling and they could really use your mentorship on something like that. Maybe you're a really good cook and other people, they're struggling having to cook at home, and you can be a mentor for those things. So find somebody that could use your mentorship, and it could be even somebody like your nephew, your niece, maybe even somebody in your own family, your brother and sister, your own blood brother and sister, and you want to mentor them. And then think like that, and then reach out to them. Maybe right after this session, reach out to them and say, I'd like to give you some help. Don't say, do you need any help? Because the answer to that is also, Jazakallah khair, nobody's going to ask you for help. But maybe get some specifics. Say, hey, during this time, I'd love to be able to help you advance in your career XYZ. Let's meet every week or something like that. See what you've been going through and build it up. And I'm happy to consult if you need help. So somebody's asking me, can you be my mentor, Sheikh? I'm the mentor for everybody here. The Facebook Live, the daily check-in. This is your mentorship. Jazakallah khair. And with that, we're done. Anybody have a questions? Thank you, Shazia, for sharing that. All right, it takes too long for people to hear me say that, do you have a question? And then type the question. I'm sitting here staring at the camera and whatnot. So let me just say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you do have a question, maybe next time we do a session, you're welcome to kind of like get on early, ask the question, and then it'll be in my mind. Jazakallah khair. Asma says, please say salam to Ila, man, you have to phonetically spell it. All of them, Igram, all of the Igrams. What time do I usually start? I start at 3 p.m. New York time. 3 p.m. New York time, inshallah ta'ala. So 3 p.m. New York time every day, generally speaking, unless we change something. Okay, everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.